This is another request video. So sometime in the 90s, one of my friends named Eric Hooks, I just tried his cell phone number I had from 10 years ago and it did not work. So anyway, he set up a coil, two toroids, and they were wound, just like a standard toroid winding. These are likely the cores he used because we shopped at the same surplus store. Maybe the top one was a little bit smaller because the inside of these two are the same diameter, but he had them wound somewhere between maybe 22 gauge, 24 gauge, and 18 gauge. They were wound so thick you couldn't see the core, just like in this little one. But they were stacked on top of each other, so the spacing would have been, because the wire took up space, would have been something. And then they were in series, I remember that, as to where if one was wound one way and the other, I don't know. I think they were both wound the same direction. And he plugged it into 120 volt AC outlet. And one of the times he did it, because I was watching, it jumped. And it was sitting on really soft carpet, so it's not like it pushed off what was below it or anything like that. I think they were zip tied together. Anyway, it's just one of those odd things. I don't know what red and white means, but I assume that meant something to someone at one point. This one actually has numbers on it and a company name. It says L43. That's probably means something. I think it's I think there's a ferrite core number with that. Anyway, but we did shop at the same stores, so there's a good chance these are what was it. Maybe the top one is a little smaller, like I said, but who knows, maybe it was some crazy fluke. Like the yesterday I was digging a trench to put a pipe between two different wells because the one ran out of water, and my rototiller I was using to dig the trench with and the neighbor's ATV both quit running at the same time, and both restarted a few minutes later without issue, but sure didn't run there for a moment. Was that just random chance? Seemed pretty weird to me. Anyway, maybe it's just random chance it took off when he plugged it in. We assumed we got it at the right phase angle. We never could reproduce it again. It just jumped that once. And I can't remember how high it was, 3/4 of an inch, 2 inches, something like that. But it does make me want to spend the time and wind a bunch of wire around some cores and stick together two different size cores and see what they do, because we can do all kinds of fancy phase modulation stuff in different waveforms into coils like would have been very hard in the 90s, and it's really cheap now. Anyway, there's the story. Make whatever you want of it, but from what I'm told, it's a good thing to share that story. Anyway, okay, bye.